Anointed Warriors. What up, spiritual family? And welcome back to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where I'm your host, Brother Minister Mongoose, and where this ministry is promoting a holistic mind, body, and spirit path to health and wellness, to life itself, and of course, to running the race that He has set before us. This ministry provides you with services that are designed to help strengthen and nourish the mental you, the physical you, and the spiritual you. These services consist of experiential, philosophical, consultative services for the mind, ISSA certified fitness training for the body, and clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices for the spirit and for the soul. There are some additional services that consist of motivational speaking as well as youth and young adult mentoring and counseling. But for more information about that and some more details about what makes this a different kind of ministry, please stay tuned to the end of the video. And for some information about what makes me a different kind of minister, and I am, please watch a video that's titled My Testimony and Disclosure. So about the ministry, MBS Service Tutorial. That'll tell you a little bit more about the ministry and the services. And for some things that make me a non-traditional minister, please watch a video titled My Testimony and Disclosure. Having said that, guys, let me again officially welcome all of you guys to the channel. A special shout of love, thanks, and appreciation goes out to the longtime viewers and subscribers and supporters of the ministry. But each and every single one of you, I encourage, as I totally value every single one of you guys, and I encourage every single one of you to live a life in a very meaningful, in a very tangible way that prioritizes faith over fear, truth over tradition, knowledge over nonsense, love over lust, and people over profit. That's what I got for you guys in terms of the opening. Now let's get right off into today's topic, where we're going to be talking about what we need to do, guys, in this day and age, is to realize that energy doesn't lie. Now, maybe you already know that, or maybe you don't. But in any case, it's important that if we don't know this, we need to take this on board. And if we do know this, then let this message serve as a refresher's course, a courtesy reminder, because we know that friends lie, family lie. We know that men lie, women lie, strangers lie. Unfortunately, we know that kids lie too. But energy doesn't lie. Energy always tells the truth. So we got to embrace this truth, particularly in a day and a time where we live, where we have we've evolved from just what's on the level, like what we can smell, taste, touch. You know, we've evolved past our five senses, what we can hear, what we can see. And in these last days, according to the good book, it says that His Spirit will be poured out on all of mankind, all of humanity. And that means those of us who carry the light, those of us who are beholding unto His kingdom, as well as the disciples of darkness, we all have some degree of discernment. The discernment of the energies, to be able to look past, to peel past, to sense and decode past what's on the surface, the smile, the handshake, the warm hug, the kind gift, the acts of things that seemingly help us. We can sense past that. Because it does no good for a man or a woman to help an old lady across the street and for her to become so distracted, so enamored with that kind gesture, that seemingly kind gesture, that she fails to peep the energy of it all. And the energy is telling her, hey, he's helping you across this street so he can knock you in your head and take your purse once he gets you over there by that alley. Energy doesn't lie, guys. And when someone shows you their energy, when you decode their energy, take their word for it. Take the word, that energy. Take the word that that energy is putting out to you. It's communicating with you. It's letting you know. And, of course, those of us who carry the light are more, and we always will be and always have been, more empowered than those who carry the darkness. So our ability to discern is vastly superior than theirs. And I'm saying that to say that that discernment that we carry, that we have by the grace of God, it allows us to see past not just the smile and the handshake or whatever it may be. We're also able to look past the mean mug, the rude behavior, the unfair treatment. We can look past it all to get to the causality, to see all the way through to the actual cause, to look past the symptoms and discern the energy all the way down to its very essence, and to say that smile was not real. It was deceptive. And that mean mug, that rude treatment was not because they are a bad person. It's simply because they was having a bad moment, a bad day. See, this discernment that we have, this ensures that we walk the path that we are meant to walk. And walking the path that we are meant to walk ensures that we get to where we are meant to go, and that we obtain all the things that He has for us to obtain. You can't get that if your energy is all over the place and you're following the smiles down a dark alley, or you're letting the rude behavior cause you from walking a path and embracing someone that you're meant to embrace. But because, that instance, that moment where they weren't kind, they weren't pleasant, you missed out on a golden opportunity. This discernment that we have is real. Energy doesn't lie. And we have been gifted with a very high degree, a hyper-functional degree of discernment, which is to say we just know that we know that we know that we know that we know we know. This is how profound His presence, this is how profound His discernment is in us. So don't go against that energy, what that energy is telling you. And yes, there's often times where we may not necessarily get it as accurate or as precise that we need to right off the bat. There's always going to be some slip-ups. You thought that person was a good person, they turned out to be rotten. You thought that person was rotten, they turned out to be good. That's going to happen. But these things are fleeting, even until the vanishing point. And even if they slip past the radar one way or the other, it's only a matter of time before, by the grace of God, the truth is made known to you. Everything that's in the dark will ultimately be brought to the light. And in these days and times, it'll be brought to the light even that much more expeditiously. It's our job to just trust that discernment, to trust the reading and the decoding of that energy. Don't allow that misinterpretation, that denial of what that energy is saying to you. Don't allow that to cause you to end up running with the case, but you don't have the gold that's supposed to be in the case. Don't let that energy that you have ignored, that you have decided that Yeah, from an intellectual standpoint, it just doesn't add up. Even though that energy is telling you, hey, turn around, go the other way. Even though that energy is telling you, hey, they're just having a bad moment. This is meant for you. This is where you're supposed to be. This is the person you're supposed to meet. See, we live in a society where the overwhelming majority of people are walking around empty. And it's all because they have either neglected what that energy was telling them, that energy when it came to a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, taking a job, moving to a location, not moving from a location, all these different things. That energy was telling them which way to go, but they neglected it. Or they decided that, you know what, they know that is there, but from an intellectual standpoint, they're just going to pursue or not pursue either way. And so you end up with the people who are in relationships, wholly empty, dysfunctional, not serving them, not even a little bit. People are in jobs, careers. People are living in neighborhoods. People are purchasing houses and all kinds of items. And that spirit is telling them, no, turn around, don't do it. People are foregoing speaking to someone and bumping into that spouse that's meant for them. Because that energy said, hey, that discernment, that looked past that rude behavior, that looked past that bad human moment that we all have, that discernment is saying, hey, that's the girl for you. That's the guy for you. They worked all day. They're tired. They're hungry. They're pissed off about something. The timing was just off, but that's the person that's for you. The energy is telling you that. Once you use that discernment to look past the causality or the symptoms, to look past the symptoms and get down into the causality. So all around the board, we got to realize that energy doesn't lie, guys. How many times have you been in a situation, in a circumstance where you said, you know what, I think I'm going to go that way today. You never go that way. But for some reason, you said you're going to go that way. Maybe it was a hunch, an impression that you got deep down in your spirit. Maybe it was because you just saw somebody standing on the street corner that you'd never seen before. Maybe it was because of a stop sign, a dream you had the night before, whatever. But that energy told you, go that way. You decided that because you never go that way, you're not going to go that way. So you went that way, your normal way. And you got caught in traffic. There was an accident. Something happened that you look back on and say, wow, something told me to go that way. How many times have you trusted someone and the energy said, hey, not a good move, but you persisted anyway? You look past that energy. How many times have the energy told you, hey, look, it's time for you to invest? That energy that you got when you watched that Dow Jones stock exchange, when you got the update on the real estate market, when you got the information about the interest rates, and that energy said, you know what, now's the time, and you didn't, and then you realize 6 months, a year later, that everybody who did invest it at the time that energy told you to invest, everybody was prospering. They were doubling, tripling, quadrupling their portfolio. And now you're sitting back saying, something told me. That's the energy. That's the energy. This is how we get what we're supposed to get. This is how we welcome into our lives the people that are meant to be in our lives. And this is how we shun, avoid, or let go of the people or situations and circumstances that are not meant to be in our lives. All based on that energy. You've been there in the office space, talking in the hollow corridors of Walmart or the seemingly bustling corridors of Saks Fifth Avenue, whatever the case may be. You've been there. And that energy said, hey, man, do this. You didn't do it, but you look back on it and say, man, I should have did that. Energy said, don't do that. And you did it anyway. People have spouses, jobs, again, career, the whole shebang. Even when it comes to people's beliefs in their religion. People have beliefs that they are beholding to as a part of the fact that, hey, this is all they've known. This is what they grew up in. This is what they have been taught. This is what they're familiar with. But then that energy comes. It says, hey, you need to probably take a different approach. Hey, have you considered this? So it's all across the board. It's not just the people, but it's the people, it's the places, it's the things, the situations, the circumstances, politics, religion, personal matters, finances, all across the board. That discernment, that energy is there. Everything is energy. It's just oscillating at different speeds, vibrating and bumping off and twirling around each other at different speeds. And that's why the computer presents itself as a computer, the table presents itself as a table, your hand presents itself as a hand, and so forth and so on. Every single thing is energy. This is why you can walk into a place and it could be no one there at all. And the energy of that place, you say, hey man, listen, this something ain't right here. That place, that material, those objects, the environment itself is presenting energy. And you need to be able to read that energy. So you can say, hey man, I need to get out of here. Or you can say, this is a place that's meant for me. I'm comfortable here. The energy here is soothing, it's nourishing, it's relaxing. And that's, again, if it's with a person, financial endeavor, living arrangement, whatever the case may be, a place of employment, making a career move, that energy is saying, hey, get out of here, or hey, hang around. This is what's meant for you. So I just wanted to drop this quick message because I posted a video that's titled Why They Are Obsessed with You, why they're so obsessed with you. And this, I was given this kind of like a follow-up message to say, hey, listen, why they're obsessed with you, this discernment that you have is what gifts you from God to be able to say, that person is obsessed with you, but is it from a narcissistic, dark-hearted, evil and wicked place? Or is it kind of what we would maybe consider, using the term very loosely, is it a healthy obsession? Again, using that word obsession loosely in that particular instance, is it just that they are totally flabbergasted by you, totally infatuated with you, totally overwhelmed with good, clean-hearted interest and intrigue? Are they blown away by your uniqueness in a real sincere and clean-hearted way? Because you might get both people, both the dark-hearted person staring at you and seemingly monitoring your every move, and you may get this person that's operating from a genuine, clean-hearted place that's studying your every move because they're inspired by you. They're genuinely interested in you. So this discernment allows you to be able to peel past those layers and get down to the core of that energy. Energy doesn't lie, guys. It doesn't lie. It always tells the truth. And people can hide, they can fake, they can smile, they can give you gifts, they can help you out financially, they can, invest in your company. They can give you words of encouragement and all these different things. They can do those things, but they can't hide that energy. It's something in there that regardless to how they smile, how they laugh, how much money they give, how many times they help you out, it's something that just can't be hidden. That energy that says, not really genuine. So these are the days and the times that we're living in. It's not like back in the days when, the European colonists, arrived on the shores of Africa, and because they had warm blankets and, whiskey and, firearms and, all kinds of beads and metals and crops. And back then, human discernment was not operating on the level where it's operating on now. And people just saw those gifts, those smiles, and all those different things like that. And they got on the boat and got somewhere that was never meant for them to go. You comprehend? So that's kind of a crude analogy, but yet one that hits home. I think it's a very appropriate analogy. But whatever lens you want to view it through, it's important that we realize that energy doesn't lie, and we have been gifted. In fact, we've been assigned to be able to discern and then peel past a level of discernment that those who are partakers of the kingdom of darkness, they don't get that extra that we get. The enemy has some power, but this thing we call God is all powerful. So they don't get that extra layer, that extra element of discernment that says, hey, that person smiled, that person gave gifts. Is it genuine or is it disingenuous? Is it coming from a clean and innocent place? This person, mean mug, this person was rude, discourteous a bit. But is that coming from a dark place or just a bad moment, just bad timing? We all have those. You have that discernment to be able to pierce past what's on the level and get to the actual causality of it. And that's what you are assigned and appointed to do. So energy never lies, guys. It never lies. Keep that in mind as you continue to traverse, these days and these times where, again, hey, a lot of people are politically correct. A lot of people are doing stuff superficially, and whether it's holding doors or, giving you a pat on the back or celebrating your birthday. People are doing stuff just because it's the politically correct thing to do. And if you aren't discerning that energy, you may take that as being, hey, this is a good, caring, compassionate person, when the total opposite is true about that person. And again, having said that, we live in a day and a time where people are, pressed on all sides. People are stressed on all sides. And so because this person was a little bit discourteous, not talkative, maybe a little bit rude and, inconsiderate, is that because they're a dark-hearted person, or is that because they're just having a human moment? So if there's anything this ministry can do to help you traverse and navigate that terrain with some specific steps, I'm always about specific steps. A lot of times I don't put the specific protocols in the videos because that would take even more time. I just put the message out there, trusting in God that if it's meant for you to have follow-up questions, interest with regards to, again, follow-up questions with regards to personalized protocols and curriculums that would help you personally, I trust God that if it's meant for you to do so, you'll definitely reach out. But there is some specific game plans that I love the opportunity to present to you based on who you are, what your challenges are, what you're hoping for, what you're praying for, what your God-given aspirations are, even what your religious beliefs are. Because this ministry, as you know, is not based on religion. So mosque, temple, synagogue, Muslim, Hinduist, Baptist, Christian, doesn't matter. Atheist. If your heart's in the right place, I will discern that energy. And if your heart's in the right place, we can have dialogue, discourse, and so forth. So that's what I got for you guys. Hey, listen, please watch the MBS service tutorial video. That's going to, again, tell you some specificities about all of the services, the physical fitness counseling, the certified fitness training, and the clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices, as well as the motivational speaking and the youth and young adult mentoring and counseling. I believe that's everything, guys. If you have any follow-up questions, again, I will drop an email link down in the description box. Please visit the physical fitness branch of the ministry located at mountfitnessmbs.com. And again, any follow-up questions, or if perhaps you'd like to schedule your initial consultation and evaluation in any or all of the services that are provided by this ministry, hit that same email link. I'd be honored to assist you. If the Holy Spirit moves you to make a monetary donation in support of this ministry, to show your thanks, your support, or your generosity, I'm going to also leave a Cash App link down in the description box. And remember that no amount is too small. Now, let me ask you guys the golden question as always. Did you find value in today's message? That's part one of the question. Part two is, do you think if whether or not, suspending that for a minute, if whether or not you found value in today's message? Do you think there's someone out there who could possibly find value in today's message? And if your answer is yes to either of those questions, then it's now up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you to hit that share button and give the message an opportunity to provide value to someone. Someone who may be confused, someone who may be unsure of themselves, someone who may be about to make a bad choice, a bad move. And whether it's a bad move to do something they shouldn't do or to miss out on an opportunity they should do. Hit the share button if you would, please. Also, if the Holy Spirit moves you to do so, then please also hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. And then be sure to hit the bell icon if you'd like to receive a notification when I upload new messages. Again, I believe that's everything. Thanks for all your love and all of your support. And remember, in whatever way you choose to show your thanks, your support, and your generosity towards this ministry, may you receive the abundant harvest that He has promised you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Receive it by faith, as I simultaneously receive by faith your continued love and your continued support. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. And I encourage you guys to remember that regardless of your age, regardless of your physical conditioning, and regardless of the personal challenges that you may be facing on your personal journey, this ministry is raised up and anointed to assist you in making sure that your mind, your body, and your spirit remains healthy, vibrant, and beautiful. So reach out if I can help you mentally, physically, and or spiritually. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks again for all the love and support. I am Brother Minister Mongoose, and I will holla back. Peace.